Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. My name is Beth, and I'm back today to record a very special video that I've been wanting to do that basically is just about, what's going to inspire you at this time. And this is going to be a pick a card reading, so I'm going to hold up 3 cards like I normally do, and if you want to watch all 3, go ahead. That's totally fine. But I feel like, I don't know, like I've looked at, people online, and a lot of people have said that they kind of feel blah, or kind of like they have the winter blues. And I mentioned in one of my other videos that I recorded yesterday that I haven't felt entirely like myself. And it's not because I'm getting over being sick. It's more of just like a feeling of just like not quite being in my groove, or feeling like I'm in my groove, or feeling like, things that I normally would do inspire me. And so I think this video is going to be very interesting to see like what comes up. I'm going to be using a variety of decks. I'm using my herbal, what I call my health deck, but I just want to preface this video by saying that I am not a doctor, I'm not a lawyer. If you need professional advice, you need to reach out to professionals, and this video is for entertainment purposes only. If things come through that I would recommend that you can buy, I will put the links, try to put the links below this video. If I don't get to it today, maybe tomorrow, the next day, you can also remind me or shoot me an email and be like, hey, you said that you were going to, post a link to something, and it hasn't been posted. So this also is not a replacement for a private reading. I am still offering private readings. So if you'd like to get a private reading, you can book one through my website, oracledaphne.com. You would send a payment first through PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App. I prefer PayPal. That way I can reach out via email and say, hey, like, what's your schedule look like? And it's super fast to schedule with me. So I do want to say that I am still also partnering with Jackery. They do solar power generators, which are really cool. And there's been a lot of stuff about power outages, especially this winter, and in different places across the U.S., but in other countries as well. So I definitely recommend them. They're a little bit pricey, but they're pretty awesome. So definitely, I'm still doing that. I do also want to remind everybody that I have an Etsy shop that I'm selling things, like my handmade things. I'm selling those. They all come with an oracle card reading. I just completed a pine needles basket that I posted on there today in my shop today. So if you wanted to get that, it's in my shop, and I will put the link in the description box below. So I'm going to hold up 3 cards, and this is just like a normal regular pick a card reading, except really I'm focusing on what's going to be inspiring to you at this time. What do you need to do to kind of find your inspiration? It may be that you need to take some supplements. It may be that you need to exercise. It may be that you need to get better sleep. Whatever it is, it's going to come up through the cards, and I'm excited to kind of just jump in. So card 1, group 1. This is the card that I pulled for you guys. Card 2, group 2. This is you guys. And card 3, group 3. Okay, so for card 1, group 1, we got it's the Hermit in my herbal deck, but it's also actually, it's interesting, a card about needing to have hope, needing to believe that things are going to be okay, needing to be hopeful that that life is going to improve in some way, and this is kind of like needing to be able to see an end to suffering, like, you know, to feel better, to heal, to work on healing. Some of you may be recovering from some kind of like you might be like me, where you're just recovering from being sick, or you might be recovering from kind of any kind of surgical procedures or time in the hospital. Someone may be recovering from giving birth to a baby, or any kind of cancer treatment or hardship. This is also, for some of you, getting pregnant. I'm getting a tingle on this. So some of you, like maybe you are trying to get pregnant via IVF, or you're trying to get pregnant the old-fashioned way, or some of you might not even be trying and you're getting pregnant. So to me, this is a card about that. The funny thing that, you know, this whole reading is about is like what's going to inspire you. So I would encourage you to watch some videos which have to do like, they have like positive affirmations, writing down positive affirmations, starting a journal where you are doing positive affirmations like every day. I started writing like my gratitude out. Every day became like a practice where I started writing out my gratitude notes. I was like, I'm going to do this. It's one of the things that I personally wanted to do this year, was do more of that. I try to do that every single day. I try to stretch every single day. So it's part of like my like morning routine. Some of you do need to have like a morning routine or a routine during your day of spiritual practice. And spiritual practice is not just like lighting a candle and saying a prayer, although it can be. Spiritual practice is, for some, writing things out, working on a vision board, meditating, sitting, and, you know, doing breath work or yoga. Spiritual practice is working with plants, working with herbs. So it's almost like for group one, you need positive affirmations or words of confirmations. This is where I would also encourage you to maybe start or join a support group. Have people in your life that are supporting of you. That way you don't feel so like hopeless, or you don't feel like so maybe down about things. Now, I just did a video yesterday about the apocalypse and the robotics timeline. And for some of you that watch that, it may be discouraging. But I think no matter where we're at in the timeline, or no matter what the agenda is, you know, we have to stay positive, and we have to keep a little hope alive for ourselves, for humanity. And I think that that's what this group really needs. It needs to keep the hope alive. This is new beginnings. Also the seed of potential, the seed of life. This is enlightenment. It's interesting in this deck that it's less to do about the medicine and more to do with the overall perspective. So for some of you, the thing that's going to inspire you is someone who has a very positive perspective or positive approach. I want to say something here really quickly. This is interesting. My guide is reminding me of this one example. I had this instance with a client a long time ago, many years ago, where they became frustrated that I wasn't giving them what they needed as far as like a spiritual message. I wasn't giving them the hope that they needed. I was answering their questions, but none of the answers were to their liking. And I think that at this time, and I was thinking about this morning, it's very interesting. At this time, there's going to be many things that aren't to our liking. That's just how it is. And that's part of becoming an adult. It's part of the spiritual maturity that's happening on the planet at this time. Believing less in like the fairy tale that things are going to end up perfectly, or that things are, you know, have to go a certain way. I remember too also explaining this to someone, like an old friend of mine who, you know, I think it was her daughter who was going to get married, and at the very last minute she found out that her fiance was cheating, and so she ended up not getting married. And for like my friend, it was like a huge deal. It was a huge deal, because my friend had all of these perfect expectations of her daughter was going to go to college, and her daughter was going to get married, and her daughter was going to have babies, and her daughter, I mean, it was just like, she had these like very, very almost rigid perfectionist ideals. And I'm not saying that it's bad to have ideals or bad to have goals or any of that stuff, but I'm saying that, like, I think a lot of us need to accept and come to a place of acceptance that cheating, I hate to say this, has become kind of the norm, and it's scary, and I don't like it. It's one of those strange things, but it's also the norm. And I will say this too, that life does not go the way we plan. It doesn't, and we don't have to, in order to be successful, reach for these perfect ideals about what the perfect life is going to be like, or what our perfect life is going to be like. And some of you may, in this group, may have had like a religious or rigid upbringing where your parents were like, this is what you got to do. You've got to go to medical school. You've got to become a lawyer. You've got to become blah, blah, blah. You know, you've got to do that, X, Y, Z. And it was just like they kept you on this very rigid track where there wasn't any deviation or room for fucking it up or room for any kind of different choices. So I want to say that the beauty of this group, whoever's watching for this group, the beauty of it is that it's like that John Legend song where he's like, your perfect imperfections. It's life's perfect imperfections that give us hope, that give us like that positive, you know, positive perspective. And I will say that, like, some people, and I'm getting shown David Goggins. David Goggins, actually, I had like a really rough day. This was a while ago. I had one the other day, but like, you know, I was watching, I don't know, you know, scrolling, whatever. I think it was on Instagram, and there he was talking about needing to get up out of bed and stop complaining or whatever, and, you know, kind of just go get whatever I needed to get done. And honestly, it really inspired me. And I know that he's like, I've watched some of his other stuff where it can feel very like not abrasive, but kind of, I mean, it's very tough love, and it's very like hard, and that's his whole thing about staying hard. And I think it's important, especially females that are watching, to remember that it's okay to be soft, that it's okay to stay home if you need to, it's okay to rest, it's okay to nurture yourself, it's okay to cry, it's okay to be in that receptive energy where you're not go all the time. It's okay to take a break from working a 9 to 5. It's okay to stay home and raise your children. I mean, all these things are the feminine energies, and it's important to have a balance of both. But when I was feeling down, David Goggins, for whatever reason, message really got me back up again. And for some of you, you need maybe a little bit of tough love, or you need someone to tell you to get out of bed. You need someone to tell you to keep going. You need someone to say you're gonna make it. You need someone to say, you know, like, you just gotta go do it. Whatever it is that you are procrastinating on, you just gotta go do it. You need to have hope that, like, whatever you're going to try for, you're going to get it. But the beauty is not in getting it. The beauty is in trying for it. and being optimistic and staying on your feet and being like, I'm just going to keep going. That's the beauty. I have to say that. I'm going to see if there's anything else that comes through for this group, but I think that's going to be all for this group. There's a lot of, to me, this group has a lot of like highs and lows. So, you know, I feel like some of you want very badly to have more good things in your life, you know, for things maybe to be easier, or for there to be, I don't know, more sunny days and cloudy days in your life. And it might have felt for some of you that, you know, you've gone through like a period of depression, or you've gone through a period of suffering. I feel like there's a balance that's needed for some of you that are watching for this group, where it's not where you're like everything's great and you're doing really well, and then other days where you're just like there's nothing that can inspire you. So it's important to find like that happy medium, or the things that you can do that are gonna kind of be like the glue of your life. And you know, Melody Beatty says the glue is like doing all those things that, you know, you kind of take for granted. So like doing your laundry, washing your dishes, you know, taking your trash out, going out and getting groceries, kind of keeping a kind of consistency going. And I know it sounds simple, but I feel like for this group, doing something consistently will be the glue of your life, and I think that'll be helpful. All right, moving on to group number 2. Group number 2, we've got the Empress here. Group number 2, the thing that's going to inspire you is making things by hand, okay? So for some of you, if you don't know, say, how to crochet or how to knit or how to do like embroidery, you might want to take a class. For some of you, it could be pottery, it could be jewelry making. I really want to take a class, for me personally, I really want to take a class on like making silver, like metal jewelry with crystals. That's something that I've been wanting to do. It's on the list of stuff that I wanted to do this year. So some of you, you know, maybe taking like a metal working class, or a jewelry making class, or apprentice with somebody who does make jewelry like in your area. You know, maybe partner for a while with them, you know, watch what they do, you know, order some supplies. You guys might want to check out, if you want to support my, I made an Indiegogo crowdfunding campaign. This year is my year of growth and expansion, and it's all about basically asking for people to donate towards supplies of the things that I would make. So like things to make a pine needles basket, I need to order more thread, things like that. Some of you, it's not necessarily where you can't afford supplies. It's just something where you maybe aren't really focused on it, or maybe you're not making time for it, or maybe you haven't taken a class in it, so you think you can't do it. I will say that I learned how to make a pine needles basket from scratch by watching YouTube videos. So there's always stuff out there that's going to be able to like get your creative juices going, which didn't cost me that much. The thread was like $15, and obviously the pine needles are free, so it didn't cost me much, but it costs a lot of time. So some of you do need to make maybe more time for making handmade items. Some of you, it's like baking or cooking also, like it's something that you enjoy, and you know, in order to be inspired, maybe look at different recipes. When I need inspiration, I check out Jamie Oliver on his channel on YouTube, because he's always doing something different, and he goes in so many different directions, and it really inspires me a lot. So for some of you, that's what is going to really inspire you at this time. It is handmade handmade stuff, anything that you can make from scratch. Could also be like learning how to like sew like a dress, or do like fashion design, or make your own clothes. There's a lot of really cool like people on Instagram that, you know, are making their own clothes. So you maybe want to get, you know, a sewing machine, or do some quilting. Some of you, like, maybe it's a thing with fabric or a thing with yarn. There's this really cool girl who does this. She makes these scarves from wool. And she's got this, like, I don't know, it's like this wool turning machine. She puts all the different colors in and she turns it. It's very like therapeutic to watch. I love it. And I was like, I need that, you know. Anything that you can do, like something like that, would be good for you, I think. It's going to bring you the most inspiration. Some of you do need to get outside, and make sure you're getting enough vitamin D, and vitamin C. Those two things are going to, I feel like, really help you. I would very much avoid any people in your life that cause you stress. I would also avoid any people, like if you have stressful family members, or if there's a lot of conflict within your friendship group. To me, you need to avoid being sad or feeling down. You know, similar to group one, you may also, you know, be watching, people in group one may be watching this as well, because I feel like some of you have this tendency to feel low or feel down or feel sad. I am going to move on to group three. I only have so much room on my camera to record this. So, group three is the Daisy. But in this deck, this actually is talking about self-love. So for this group, the thing that's going to inspire you is actually doing more self-care. For some, it's starting like a self-love journal, or doing stuff that's specifically for yourself. That's either taking care of yourself. So maybe some of you, it's getting your hair cut, or maybe it's buying some new clothes for yourself. I currently am obsessed with this lotion. I got this lotion. I think it's by Shikai. At the grocery store. I needed a new lotion. I had run out of lotion, and this is like the most amazing stuff. I wish I could show it to you guys, but it's really, really great. I've been using it on my face, and my face loves it. My skin loves it. It's made my skin really soft. So stuff like that. You know, some of you may want to like change up your beauty routines. Maybe get some new makeup. Maybe get some things that are going to make you feel good. It could be a fuzzy robe, it could be slippers, it could be something that's going to make you feel good. For some of you, like maybe going in and getting some new jeans, or like maybe getting some new sweaters or tops or things that are going to make you feel pretty. To me, this group needs to feel pretty, needs to feel good about your appearance. And if you're a guy and you're watching for this group, you know, men more than women do not take care of themselves. Okay. So for some guys in this group, it's important for you to work out, maybe join a gym, just start maybe lifting some hand weights at home if you don't want to join a gym. I got these like little 2.5 pound weights, which I lift. And I feel like it makes a difference in my workout routine and my perspective. You know, men also, like, the way they make men's clothes is men's clothes last forever. So guys have the same t-shirt since like 1972, and it still washes perfectly and comes out like just like perfect. Whereas women's shirts do not do that. So like for some of you guys, you need to get some new t-shirts. You need to get some new clothes that are going to, like, you know, make you feel good about yourself, you know? And yeah, do things like that. Guys can get facials too. You know, I know many guys who get facials. Maybe get a facial, maybe get your hair cut, go for a massage. you know, things that are going to make you feel good, no matter whether you're male or female, doesn't matter. This is also, I want to say this, you know, this picture is of like a Polaroid, and it reminds me of how I used to tell my grandmother to go do photography. And some of you may have some artistic, creative, you know, impulses. So some of you like may just need to get outside and take some pictures, do a little bit of photography, change your perspective, take an art class. You know, I went to art school, so chances are you're not going to find me in another art class, but you never know. Like, it's one of those things. Like, some of you may be wanting, like, if you're like me, maybe going back to school and getting your master's in art, or you know, working with a photographer. Or to me though, this group feels to me more like, if you're like my grandmother, let's just say, like, I'm the one that's here to, you know, to give you some inspiration, or look to see what's going to give you inspiration. And if I remember talking to my grandmother, it was like she had a very rigid routine where there wasn't a lot of room for doing those things. She did not make time to do those things. So like, her going and getting a camera was not something that she would spend the money on, number one. And it's not something that she would do. So I think for some of you, you know, there is this, you can see there's like a box here in the center. Some of you do have some rigid thinking. You know, some of you may feel stuck, or may feel like, you know, you're trapped into some kind of rigid routine. Some of you are not taking like enough time for yourself, or you're just like, you're the kind of person that like wants to be inspired, but isn't actually going to go do anything about it. So you're not like necessarily going to go buy a Polaroid camera and take pictures. But the thing that's going to be the best thing for you is going and getting a Polaroid camera. Some of you going and getting like an old record player and collecting some records. Some of you, it's maybe doing like a little vintage shopping, or going to Goodwill and kind of tinkering and doing things and getting out of your comfort zone, trying something new. You know, I learned how to skateboard when I was in my early 20s. You know, in one of my moves, I got rid of my rollerblades, but I saw this woman, she was on the news. She was, I think, 60, 61, 62, and she was rollerblading. You know, you're never too old to try something new or do something new. So this is where I would tell you, if you're kind of stuck in a rut, it's time to do something new that you've never tried before. And to me, that's going to be the most inspiration to you. All right, I think I'm going to leave out here. Thank you guys so much for being amazing fans and followers. I send everyone big hugs, big kisses, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Please book a reading with me. If you've never booked one before, I'd love to read for you. And if you'd like to donate, any amount is really super helpful at this time. $5, $10, $20, $100 would be amazing. You can donate through PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App, and all the links will be below. All right, I'll talk to you guys again soon. Take care. All the best. Bye.